and welcome to a brand new episode of Attack on Show. I'm Rob E.
And I'm Jeff.
And we've got an exciting episode planned for you.
Very.
We're going to take a look at Jamie Lee Curtis's return for Halloween 2018. And then we're going to go back to another John Carpenter cult fave, The Thing. That's a scary movie. You're going to stick around.
Absolutely.
And then it is the 10th anniversary of the best Star Wars storyline, The Clone Wars. We're going to take a look at that on Binge Worthy. And then on I Miss My MTV, we're going to jam to Prof's track, Farout. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Attack on Show.
I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is finally back.
But isn't she dead?
No, actually, this is her first appearance.
Oh, okay.
Since Halloween 2, since H2O, and since Halloween Resurrection. She's not been back since those movies. So it's it's a big deal, I guess.
Because she's been in
couple of them.
Yeah, couple
So anyway,
movies.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis returns. Actually, a big deal in this, though, is that Nick Castle does reprise his role as Michael Myers.
Let's be honest, is it really that big of a
It's
deal?
going to be fantastic watching these two down some Celebrex and go at it old school style. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at Halloween 2018.
Testing 1, 2, 3. We're on.
We're here to investigate a patient that killed 3 innocent teenagers on a Halloween in 1978. He was shot by his own psychiatrist.
Do you think the healthcare coverage paid for that?
And has spent the last 40 years in captivity.
What's with the checkered floor? It's like, hey, what are you doing? I don't know, let's play some human checkers later.
I have something you might like to see.
Okay, apparently the Bureau of Prisons may want to do a bag check when they have visitors.
Sure, right?
Okay, so they're chained to anvils. Is the yellow tape the backup?
Everyone in my family turns into a nutcase this time of year. Yeah, I mean, your grandmother is Laurie Strode. She was almost murdered.
Wasn't it her brother who murdered all those babysitters?
No, it was not her brother. That's something that people made up.
Do you know that I pray every night that he would escape?
Oh, it's a religious movie.
What did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
Dad, look out!
The bus crashed.
Prayers
Yes,
do
it
come
do
true.
come true, yes.
Michael escaped.
Excuse me, somebody's in here.
Hello?
Dock that lady a day's pay for napping on the job. Whoever that was, great teeth by the way, no
by the way,
fillings.
phenomenal.
Whoa.
He's waited for this night. He's waited for me. I've waited for him.
I mean, I know me and my brother have had some differences, but wow, talking about carrying it to the extreme.
You don't believe in the boogeyman?
He's here!
Michael! You should.
Can you close the closet door?
When is Flo gonna give that up?
Yeah. Holy shit!
What are your thoughts?
I'm actually interested. This is really not my genre of movie. You and I have discussed that before. I'm not into these types of things. To go back and watch them can be a little rough sometimes, but I like this.
Yeah,
I like this
I'm
a lot.
huge Michael Myers fan. I actually have a doll of Michael Myers right behind camera here. I've seen all the movies. Honestly, I'm having a hard time with this being a sequel, wiping out the previous sequels. I was a big fan of Halloween 4. I really liked what Kevin Williamson did with H2O. I thought that was a great sequel. I kind of wish they would have kept that storyline in place. Why not bring Josh Hartnett back as an older? He was her son, and then follow the grandchild as if they're already doing in this movie.
Because this really does wipe out almost everything else.
It wipes them all out. This is a new part
these
2.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to have seen it be Halloween 1, 2, H2O, then this as being a good timeline. So the Halloween timeline is a bit confusing. kind of along the lines of X-Men, where they've had 6 previous sequels. They're wiping those all out. So this is going to be the new Halloween 2.
Right.
So I'm interested. I'm not getting my expectations too high because, like
to me, it looks to be, and again, it's just a trailer here, but it seems to be a little more psychological in this movie than your atypical slasher film.
I mean, thank God Rob Zombie is finally off the Halloween movies. Those were garbage. I couldn't stand them. So I'm extremely happy Rob Zombie is gone. I'm more excited about these to see what they do with the character and keeping it a continuation. So there you have it, everybody. We'll move on to the next segment. I don't think there's much more to cover.
No, absolutely not. No.
We're going to go back to Kurt Russell, full bearded, a John Carpenter horror film.
Badass Kurt Russell.
Great movie.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at The Thing on Be Kind, Rewind. We're going to take a look at John Carpenter's other horror film, starring Kurt Russell, 1982's The Thing. This is, I think, one of the main reasons why I never want to be revived if I get a heart attack.
Claire?
Just do not press on my chest. For anyone that's seen this movie, you're going to know what I'm talking about. This was a cult movie. It actually came out against E.T., and at the time, I think people were more excited about the friendly little alien than the...
It's funny, in discussing this before we did this show, Rob's vast knowledge of the movies, I was really surprised because to me this was a big movie. To me, this is something I sat and watched with my father. It was probably one of the first movies that really scared the absolute shit out of me. And to find out that it really did not do well in the box office. But this was one of those things like back when HBO would re-show over and over again. And this is one of those shows I remember watching over and over and over again.
Yes. It had a huge cult following. It was one that grew over the years. And just, word of mouth, it really spread. This is probably one of the earlier cult movies to gain a presence like that. The box office, like I said, wasn't too well, but it's got like an 82 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So fans are huge fans of it. It's since spawned a prequel in 2011.
Yep.
The PlayStation game was the actual sequel to it. But one of the great things about The Thing that I really liked about it is there's horror movies where obviously you just have your guy in a mask going around killing people. And then this movie is like a psychological, screw with your head type thriller that keeps you guessing throughout the whole thing.
Nobody trusts anybody now.
The plot of the movie is it's in Antarctica to where this dog comes running to like a remote outpost of scientists. It comes out of nowhere with some Swedish people shooting at it from a helicopter. Anyway, they take the dog in, and the people that were shooting at the dog shoot at them, so they shoot back and kill the people from the chopper. So now this dog is there, and all of a sudden you find out it's an alien and it's eating other dogs and it's basically taking over their form. So the movie really keeps you guessing because what the thing is an alien that can take over your body and it replicates you. You really don't know who's an alien in this movie, who's not, and this whole remote outpost is basically no communication, trying to figure out who is an alien and who is real, because eventually this alien is just going to kill them all.
Bang. That was one of those things out there, trying to imitate it.
One of the great things I loved about this movie, one of the cool things about filming is as we talked about the Swedes that had this other remote outpost. In the movie, Kurt Russell takes a chopper to go and investigate where this dog came from, and the outpost that they go to is burnt down. Obviously, the people there had the same problem with this alien.
Right.
They burn it down. One of the cool things when you read about reading the movie, and this is spoiler, so if you don't want to hear this, go ahead and mute. But in at the Kurt Russell's outpost, they burn the place down. They basically blow it all up because they want to stop this alien from spreading any further. They're fine to kill themselves. The cool thing about the way the movie was filmed, the outpost for the Swedes is the same set as where Kurt Russell's outpost was. They just filmed it after they torched the whole place and then said it was a different location in the movie. And it was really interesting. It was one of those I actually pride myself on watching it. I recognized the staircase as they were coming down from the normal outpost, and I thought it looked similar, so I went and Googled, and yeah, that's how they filmed it. So it's a fun, those little niche of the 80s films, you had to use what you had.
Yeah, you didn't have the CGI and the things that you have today, and you'll cross so many genres and different movies from that back in that time. You see the reuse, you see actual sets, which is Rob and I are big fans of the actual use of actual sets when it comes to a lot of movies. It makes a difference.
And a great pairing. Kurt Russell always worked with John Carpenter in the 80s. They produced some decent films.
And really strong acting in this.
You gotta be f***ing kidding.
Great supporting cast. It's a good group of people together that they just all really worked well off each other. Being on a closed location like that, you need good character acting, and they all pulled through. So if you're in a mood for a good horror film, something that's just gonna make you piss your pants, and watch it over and over, because every time you watch it, you're gonna spot new things.
Absolutely.
I still don't know the end of this movie. I don't know who is what, at what point who was taken over.
John Carpenter designed that he will not give an answer. There is no actual answer to the end of the movie, and it does very well. You know, a lot of movies can be left as that's an opening, or where people complain about that. This one, no, we're just gonna leave it up to your imagination.
In fact, when the dog first goes into to the first human person, it's an interesting shot angle where you see the dog into the room and you see the shadow of a human say, "Here, boy." That actually is a guy that was just on set, not any of the actors in the film. So the whole purpose is that the shadow doesn't match up with anybody, so you don't even know who that person. It was purposely meant to throw you off. So just creative filming on John Carpenter's part. This movie deserves a watch if you've not seen. If you've seen it before, you know exactly what we're talking about. Pop in the VHS, be kind and rewind, and hit play. Hopefully the tracking's still on par.
If a forehead VCR, you're going to get a much better picture.
Yes, forehead and hi-fi stereo.
Yes.
So with that, we'll wrap up Be Kind Rewind.
Absolutely.
We're going to jump way forward.
Way forward.
To
Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yes. Binge Worthy?
Yeah. Binge Worthy.
Listen up now. This is serious.
I was just wondering,
Did you... No!
We're going to talk Star Wars, and this is a hot topic right now, especially with everything going on in the news, the movies coming out.
The rumors as to what's going on with a lot of things that,
Kathleen Kennedy might be getting fired. Anyway, we're going to focus on this week's Binge Worthy on The Clone Wars, a fantastic series that aired on Cartoon Network. Clone Wars was created by Dave Filoni. I call him the chosen one in the Star Wars universe. He worked side by side with George Lucas. And really, we all understand George Lucas's flaws. The guy has a great imagination. I think he's built an amazing Star Wars universe with characters, but when he's in complete control, surrounded by yes men, it can somehow come out as garbage, which is what you saw with the prequels. Dave Filoni, I think, had a true knack of taking that creativity and then tightening it up and honing it in on the proper audience and developing a story that really would hold your interest.
He played very well in George Lucas's sandbox, is how I like to say. He played along very well, but at the same time was given enough control over this to create just a very tight, because most of these episodes were 30 minutes long. So you were able to take...
And three-part, story arcs.
And many of them were. Some of them stood alone on their own. I think this really shows the phenomenal filmmaking and the creativity in these, is that even as we had 3 story arcs, each one of them were their own little story within themselves as well. They had beginning, finish, and end.
Yes.
So.
And if there's one thing you really give credit to this is, for the flaws of the prequels, there are some amazing characters that were made in the prequels that Dave Filoni was really able to focus in on and really develop these characters into actually being something that you could relate to, something you could care about. I always joke around that the computer animated Anakin is better than Hayden Christensen in the prequels.
I understand wanting to walk away from the Order.
I actually care more about a computer
Rob, as you
animated.
say that was really what you wanted.
What about me? I believed in you. I stood by you.
They give the clones character and emotion, and these guys all look the same in the cartoon. They're all voiced by the same actor, and yet each clone had their own individual personality.
D. Bradley Baker doing the voice of the clones.
Admit it. You're lost. Come on, cut the kid a break.
Windows quarters are that way, Shiny.
Even the droids were humorous.
Yes,
You know, the Roger, which was meant to be funny in the prequels, they actually gave the droids in the Clone Wars a little more personality, and I laughed quite a bit at them. I mean, everything from the very first episode, and I'm saying episode of the series, because they did release an hour-and-a-half movie, which was really a 3-part pilot, I call it.
It was. Well, that's actually what it was.
Together.
It was, yeah.
That's the worst part of the Clone Wars. So I think that's really where they got off the wrong foot with a lot of people, is releasing that as a movie. And I think that turned some people off. As the show
was a George Lucas money grab, is what it felt like.
As the show progressed, it really got older.
It matured a lot, but it really matures as we move through.
By season 3, I used to watch the series with my daughter, and like season 3 came up, and there was a few episodes where she just turned at me and was like, "I'm going to bed." In fact, one of the cool storylines that Dave Filoni brought back was fixing one of the major flaws of the George Lucas prequels, which is Darth Maul. Actually finding a way to actually creatively and believably bring that character back to Star Wars.
One of the wasted characters.
Oh, yeah.
This incredible Dark Lord that this sweet-ass double lightsaber, and literally at the end he goes out like a bitch.
You thought he was going to be the new Darth Vader for that trilogy. It's a great story arc that they use with him. Basically him and his brother Savage Opress, who's created by these witches, build a crime organization, and Darth Maul is really just trying to prove to the Emperor that he's still valuable and that he's still deserving of being, the true Sith apprentice.
Master, I am most impressed to see you have survived your injuries.
Unfortunately, when Disney purchased Lucasfilm, the first thing Kathleen Kennedy did was take the axe to the Clone Wars. So I've really never forgiven her since.
No, you haven't.
And then the show now lives on Netflix. And unfortunately, it was canceled on season 5. They were already in progress of producing season 6. So they are season 6. The lost episodes are on Netflix. It's like a half season. There's 3 story arcs that they were allowed to release after the cancellation. There's some unfinished material on YouTube where after the cancellation, there was a huge Save the Clone Wars movement, and Disney actually allowed Filoni to kind of touch up these half-produced episodes and bring the people back to voice the characters, to at least get the stories out to the fans who are really upset about the Clone Wars cancellation.
Which is an absolute definite indicator that I think when Disney got a hold of it, they kind of looked back and went, we probably shouldn't have done that.
I mean, it was the highest rated show on Cartoon Network. Why cancel it? I mean, fans were outraged. I was upset. I think that's why. That's the start of the downfall.
It was,
Star Wars has continuously gone downhill since, which is why I always say Dave Filoni, I think, should be in creative control. That's a whole other storyline.
Which is actually featured in your last
Movie Maniac Minute. Yes, I get to go off on it, so you can check that out.
For 1 minute.
I could use 10. Yes. Anyway, definitely check out Clone Wars on Netflix. Some amazing Star Wars storylines. It's made for all ages. It only gets darker as the series goes.
Probably the best binge worthy we can give.
Yes,
absolutely.
Truly. So with that, want to listen to some music?
Yeah, that sounds great. You know what I miss, Rob?
The Clone Wars.
No, my MTV.
Oh yeah, I miss my MTV. So on this week's episode of I Miss My MTV, this is not a brand new track. I don't know if it's really a hidden track. It's got quite a few views on YouTube.
It does, yeah.
The track is called Farout, and the artist is Prof. You'll probably enjoy the video. I think they actually misdirected the video. The guys have a very cool, soulful, jazzy, unique voice to a pretty funky beat.
Absolutely.
And I think they should have focused on that more than
definitely a little different. Please enjoy.
But check it out.
Here with all that flash. Oh my goodness, I'm so obsessed. If you're looking for a dime piece, heard that they out there now. Heard that they out there. Well, alright. Far out. And if you feel me, you call it. And if you feel me, you call it. I made a piss and vinegar, so I need some sugar. I don't see no evil, I deserve me a looker. The whole club crunk, gotta get on that. once a while, man. I heard that they out there now.
And there you have it, everybody. Far Out by Prof. Cool tracks. You know.
Oh, there was music in that video? I didn't realize. I was distracted. I don't know.
Definitely a fun beat. You can roll the windows down. It's summertime now. I
get what you're saying. A little odd for the style of music, but
it just didn't fit. It just didn't fit them. Anyway, everybody, that's episode 13. Lucky number 13.
Wow, nice. Yes.
In the books. So thank you, everyone, for sticking around and watching, staying tuned. We're very excited to keep this going. So make sure that you like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Right down there.
You have suggestions. If you've watched anything that we've shown on the episodes,
we would love to feature it at some point. Absolutely.
Or let us know what you think of some of the stuff you've watched that we suggested. We'd love to hear from you. We got a lot of spare time.
We do.
So, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is
Attack on Show.